Imagine a mountain range longer than the Alps and deadlier than the Himalayas. For 100 years, these mountains stopped armies in their tracks. They forced merchants to reroute trade ships. They terrified explorers. There was just one problem. They did not exist. Today on Thought Trek, we are telling the story of the mountains of Kong, the greatest hallucination in the history of science. We are telling this story to prove a dangerous truth about your brain. You are likely navigating your life using a map that is completely wrong. By the end of this video, you will learn how to spot the fake mountains in your own career and relationships that are stopping you from moving forward simply because you confused the map with the territory. Welcome back to Thought Trek. This week, our theme is the map is not the territory. We often confuse our beliefs about the world with the actual world. When we confuse the two, we suffer. We act based on fear instead of facts. And sometimes we spend a century walking around obstacles that are nothing more than ink on a page. The year is 1798. James Rennell was the most respected cartographer in England. If Rennell drew it, it was real. Rennell was mapping West Africa, but he had a problem. He had reports of a river, the Niger, flowing in a specific direction. In his mind, rivers must flow from high ground. Therefore, he reasoned, there must be a massive mountain range to create that flow. So he took his pen and he drew one. He called them the Mountains of Kong. It was a guess. But once it was printed, it became fact. For the next 90 years, the Mountains of Kong appeared on almost every major map in the world. They were described as barren, cold, and impassable. Generals planned strategies around them. Merchants abandoned trade routes because they believed they would have to haul goods over the peaks. Writers like Jules Verne included them in their books. The map was so convincing that nobody bothered to check the territory. Until 1888, a French explorer named Louis Binger decided to cross these legendary peaks. He packed climbing gear. He prepared for freezing altitudes. He marched inland, waiting for the jagged peaks to appear. He walked, and walked, and walked. He reached the exact coordinates of the Mountains of Kong and found nothing. Only flat rolling savanna. Binger wrote in his diary, "There is no interruption in the horizon." The barrier had never existed. For a century, humanity had been held back by a ghost. The Mountains of Kong are gone from our atlases, but they are still in our minds. We all have mental maps that we believe are accurate. I cannot start that business. The market is too saturated. If I leave him, I will be alone forever. I am not the kind of person who can learn to code or lead. These are Mountains of Kong. You are making decisions based on fear, outdated beliefs, or someone else's assumptions. You are avoiding routes in your life because you believe there is an obstacle in the way. But the map is just a drawing. The territory is what happens when you walk there. The only way to know if the mountain is real is to become Louis Binger. Put down the map. Ignore the common wisdom. Walk until you see the horizon for yourself. You may discover that the thing you feared most is nothing more than an open field. James Rennell damaged the accuracy of maps for a century because he valued his theory more than the evidence. Do not let your life be defined by imaginary lines. A great life comes from aligning your map with the territory. It comes from having the courage to test the truth rather than surrender to a drawing. So hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you do not get lost. Thanks for watching Thought Trek. Keep exploring.